Have you ever noticed that your challenges seems different from others? Have you ever thought that why am I different from others and others don't understand me? Empaths are individuals who are highly sensitive to the emotions and energies of others, and they may face various challenges in their everyday life. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 significant challenges that empaths commonly encounter. So stay tuned till the end because I'm going to give you steps that you can take to overcome these. So stay tuned till the end. Live in light. I'm 𝐡𝐞𝐫, energy alchemist, guiding you to unlock your inner potential and transform your life. So there might be many different challenges that we face as an empath. If you are unsure that you are an empath or not, there are 21 signs that I talk about in one of my masterclasses, which is under the course section on my website. The link is in the description below. So let's move on to the 3 significant challenges that we as an empath commonly encounter. So the first one is emotional overwhelm. You might have thought that everything happens to everyone equally, right? No, it is not that scene. Everything is not same for everyone else. You might feel some emotions higher than others. As an empath, you need to know that we as an empath absorb and feel all the emotions of all those people around us. So think of it that someone in your family is sad. You might feel their emotions. You start absorbing them and feel low just like them. And suddenly you will notice that you feel sad and somehow they are feeling perfectly okay. This happens to an empath because as an empath, we often absorb and feel all the emotions of those around us, which can lead us to emotional overload. And that is why we feel overwhelmed almost all the time without knowing the reason behind it. Being surrounded by negative people or intense emotions can be draining. And as an empath, you may struggle to differentiate between your own feelings and those of others. Now, this constant emotional influx can result in fatigue, stress, and difficulty in maintaining emotional boundaries, while everyone else in your life will say, why is she always sad? Why does he wants to stay in his own room without coming out and go out in the gatherings? Right? So it happens to all of us as an emotional being or as an emotions absorber. We absorb all the emotions, right? So this is one of the challenges that you might have noticed in your life. Relax down. I will be talking about how you can overcome all of these later in this video. So stay tuned till the end. Now the second most difficult thing in an empath's life is to having difficulty in setting boundaries. I have been working on spiritual path for almost 2 decades and still it was difficult for me to set the boundaries. Really, as an empath, you might find it challenging to establish and maintain healthy emotional boundaries. If you don't know about boundaries, there are 2 videos that I have created earlier and the link, find them in the description below. There are 2 videos about what are boundaries, personal boundaries, and how to set your boundaries. Check these videos out for sure after this video. Now, our innate ability to understand and connect with others' emotions might lead us to take on more than what we can handle and sacrificing our own well-being in process of being good, feeling good, right? Learning to say no and recognizing when to step back and setting clear limits usually help us and are crucial skills for us as an empath to avoid burnout. This is an essence that when you start and understand setting boundaries and when you take these actions that I'm going to talk about in later in this video, you understand that it is so important to understand what we are, what our real desires and wants are, Once you set your boundaries, you can easily clear away and understand yourself. And there comes our third point, third challenge that we face as an empath: self identity and personal balance. As empaths, we may grapple with forming a solid sense of self because we are deeply attuned to the feelings and needs of other people. Balancing your desire to help and support others with your own personal needs can be a constant struggle. You don't know what your energy is and what your desires are, right? I was talking about this in our earlier point, that balancing our desires and understanding what our desires are helpful, right? But we as an empath don't know what are our desires. We stay in constant struggle about understanding what is ours and what is others that we are absorbing. That creates a turmoil for each of us, feeling like we are going through a roller coaster ride, right? We as an empath may need to invest time in self reflection and self care so that we can maintain a healthy sense of identity and prevent losing ourselves in the emotions and concerns of those all around us. People, our family members, parents, children, and spouse, we care for everyone. We feel that we are liable to help them to make their life easy. But in that, we lose our identity. We forget what we are. So, I'm going to talk about a few points that for each one of these uh, challenges that we face that you can take action on and change your life for sure. So, talking about emotional overwhelm, what can you do in your everyday life to understand that this is not yours and come out of that overwhelming overload of energies? What can you do? There's a practice that you can start from today onwards only. You have to establish a personal space. You have to create a personal space. Like there could be a study room or a space in your bedroom. You can create a place in your room or in your house where you visit often. So I encourage you to practice of creating one designated personal space where you as an empath can retreat to recharge. Just like we put on our mobiles, our laptops, all other gadgets to recharge, to charge their batteries, we put them on a designated place, right? We all have that place in our home where we put them, and while they are charging, they rest on some piece of furniture, right? Some people keep it on their study table, some keep it on dining table, some keep on bed or sofa, whatever, wherever you put them, you are giving them space to charge, right? Just like that, you need to recharge your batteries as well. Now, I ask you to create a space like where I meditate is my bedroom and the side where I sleep. And I will meditate there all the time. Whenever I have to meditate, I will sit there only, usually, right? So, you can create that space. You know, it could be your balcony or it could be a room, a corner of, even a corner of your kitchen. While cooking food, you can sit there on a chair or on floor. And I remember one of my friends told me that she never got time to meditate. So what she used to do is, when the food is being cooked and is on stove, she used to sit down and deep breathe in and out. It's years ago that she told me, and I suddenly remember. And you can do that. Create one tiny space for yourself and disconnect with everyone else. Disconnect to everyone. Close your doors or whatever you can and sit there. At least 1 hour. Give yourself 1 hour. Mobiles do charge in 15 minutes these days, but remember the earliest charge mobiles used to take 1 hour, 2 hour to charge. So give yourself time to recharge every day. It could be at night time, it could be morning, it depends on you. But establish a personal space. I encourage you to do that from today onwards. And you will see a great change in your personality, in your daily life, because you are recharging your batteries. And when you are recharging your batteries, you feel less overwhelmed towards all the other energies. And I suddenly remember that it could be a space outside. If you go for a walk, you can sit on a chair or in the garden or somewhere. It could be that place as well. It is not necessary to sit only inside your home, it could be anywhere outside as well, where you can sit down and recharge your batteries. That's all. That's all the point is, just to create a personal space. And with this, setting the space, you need to set a time each day where you can be all alone and reflect on your life, reflect on things that you do. Have a self reflection time as well. That will help you in emotional detox. Understanding what is yours and what is others can help you a lot. There are many more things that you can learn with me. If you want to have one-on-one session or you want to dive into our courses, go and check that out on my website. The link is in the description. But this is the one step that you can start. Being mindful is the next step for coming out of this emotional overwhelmed state. Understanding what mindfulness is, what kind of exercises that can help you, will help you in emotional detox. So these are the two things that you can do on daily basis. Spending time. See, we all have a timetable that we follow, right? We have a timetable in our daily life. I wake up at this time, I do this, I send my children that time, and I send my spouse at this time, and then I have to cook food and everything. You have to sit for your office maybe, but there is some time that you can be mindful. You can be mindful while eating your breakfast, while eating your dinner or lunch. Whenever you can give a little more time than ever, start eating slow. That is mindfulness. That is relaxing yourself. And what best is, while listening to the beautiful chants, Om chant that I have on my YouTube channel here, you can put that on and sit down and relax and enjoy your meal while listening to that chant and relaxing your body. Think of it. You can just brainstorm ways to find peace. And this is your first step to come out of your emotional overwhelm. Slowly you will realize that, wow, you have changed your life forever, right? So moving on to the next point was difficulty in setting boundaries. And I already told you that there are two videos that you must watch after this one. Go and check that out, because it is going to help you in our next step. Learn to say no. When you know that what your boundaries are as an empath, you need to practice saying no without guilt. We all feel guilty. As an empath, I remember that every time someone asked me, go and find a job, I will say yes. Even though I don't wanted that kind of job, I will say yes. Let's go to this relative's place. I will say yes. Why? Because my ex-mom-in-law was saying that we have to go to my sister's place. I had to follow her. I have to say yes to please her, to keep her silent or whatever, right? We have to do that. We keep doing that again and again and again on a loop, even when we don't want to do that. Even though when we want to say no, as an empath, we say yes. I have to say yes to please them. That's what we do. So, learn to say no without feeling guilt. Can you do that? I challenge you to try that from today onwards. Say, if your child is insisting on having 1 hour of playtime extra, you can say no and stick to that no. Don't please your child. Or it could be your spouse, it could be your grandparents or parents or parent-in-laws, whatever. If you feel that there should be a no, say no. It is crucial to recognize that setting boundaries is essential for maintaining our emotional well being. If you say no, it might trigger them, but you will feel relaxed afterwards. Notice it. And that's why I said, I challenge you to try this from today onwards. This is a very specific point that you can start taking. You will thank yourself later on, I'm telling you. And you will thank me as well later on. I'm telling you. So we need to communicate everything assertively. If we like the idea, we must say, yes, I like that idea. If we don't like that idea, say no. We need to be assertive, and we need to learn to kindly express our limitations to avoid taking on too much. When you learn to express your limitations, that I can't cross that limit, when you learn to say politely, kindly, you will change everything. Think of it. You're not fighting them. You're just politely letting them know that no, I can't hike on. I never walked. I don't walk much on in my daily life. And when I went out with my friends, they asked me for hiking. I tried and I refused. That I know my limit. I can't go on that mountain with you all because I'm not fit for that. I said no. They insisted. I still said no, and I came back to the room and let them go. It's perfectly okay. They realize that it is perfectly okay. So prioritize your self-care. This could be a second point to understand what self-care is, what self-care practices are, and why self-care is non-negotiable element of our daily life. When you learn, yes, this is second point that you can start working on, to learn how to set boundaries and to keep your boundaries in place. I emphasize you to understand the importance of self care practices. It could be going out all alone, it could be relaxing yourself, sleeping on odd times, taking a nap on odd times, going out and indulging into spa, or anything that you feel. In that way, you are caring for yourself. Whatever feels good, whatever activity that brings joy, relaxation, and rejuvenation, that you must note down and start doing it. And when you prioritize your well being, you will notice that when you feel good, you give that feeling all around into others. When you feel happy, when you feel joyful, when you are relaxed, you will emit that energy to others, and people will start saying, oh, you're different. You're feeling different today. So, setting boundaries is this important, right? So, moving on, we get 2 points for our first point and 2 points for our second point. And let's move on to the third one, which was self identity and personal balance. This is something crucial because it is a daily habit. You have to form that habit to understand, to change your identity, to change the way you have been living on a robotic mode, because no one in your family or your in-laws family knew that and what should be done to an empath, right? So you have these challenges because of that. And now when you understand what your identity is as an empath, you cultivate great habits, right? So you can start with self reflective practices. On daily basis, you can cultivate a habit of self reflection through activities like journaling or regular introspection. Sit down, take time out, get a beautiful diary, and start writing your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions in that. Don't put on all the stress of all the negativity. She said that, he said that, or anything. Instead, notice your emotions and write them down. Now, start noticing these emotions, and when you journal, it will help you to understand yourself. I encourage you today now to explore and understand your emotions, and with that, you need to understand and note down your desires and what your values are. We usually run after all the desires that everyone else wants. Our parents wants to have us in a job or get married or have children, or the same for our in-laws, for the same with our spouse. Our spouse don't want us to work, and so he or she says, I don't want you to work, I want you this, I want you to earn more money than me. This is what other wants from us. But what are our desires? I don't want to earn more. I'm happy with where I am. So we need to understand that as well. Slowly, when you start journaling about your emotions, you will start journaling about your desires. Yes, I want to go to that place. I want to visit that place. Those are your desires that comes out from deep inside you. And when you notice it, it will help you to find out and set boundaries as well, of course, right? Help you in self identity that will balance your energies. So, when you have self awareness, when you reflect about everything that you want, it all contributes to a stronger sense of identity for you. You will feel different. You feel successful. There are so many things that will change for you. And this is a daily habit. These all the things that I am giving you are daily habits. Change one thing at a time. And if you have questions, let me know in the comments. Of course, I'm always there to help you out. With this, you can also do to establish personal goals. Help yourself to set and pursue personal goals. Personal goals looks like if you are a housewife, you have different goals. I want to learn this. I want to cook better. I want to learn baking. I want to learn embroidery. While if you are a work from home mom or a work from home lady, it will be different. If you are unmarried, it would be different, right? So your personal goals depends on you. What are your goals that you want to achieve in next 1 month, in next 2 months, in next 1 year, 5 year? We set in businesses, we set goals for 1 year, 5 year, and 10 years, right? Just like that, you can set your personal goal. I want to learn drawing. I want to learn painting. I want to learn bake beautiful cakes. So you have your personal goal. You can give a time to it and start working on it. These are your personal goals that are independent for you. They are not about what others want me to do. They are yours, right? So notice them, write them down in your journal and notice what you want. This could involve identifying your passions, hobbies, or areas of your personal growth. What do I want to do? I want to look beautiful, so I will join gym. I want to learn dance, so I will find a class, right? These personal goals are going to help you and contribute to a sense of fulfillment and help you in polishing your individual identity. If you follow all these steps every day for all these points, all these challenges, you'll feel that these challenges are minimizing. Slowly, these things, that emotional overwhelm or difficulty in setting boundaries or not knowing yourself and having no self identity and personal balance, will diminish, will end slowly after connecting to yourself and doing these things. So just sit down and note these points. Go back and check the whole video, note these points, and start working on yourself. I have been following all of these points in my everyday life for 2 decades, 20 years almost. So before I leave, one suggestion for you as an empath who is facing all these challenges on your daily basis, is to prioritize consistent self-care practices. Make self-care a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Incorporating activities that replenish your energy and nurture your well-being is going to help you. This self-care could include activities like meditation, spending time in nature, and engaging in hobbies or setting aside quiet moments for self-reflection. That's all. These simple things can help you. And establishing and maintaining these self-care habits can help you as an empath to recharge, establish emotional and boundaries, and navigate the challenges of your daily life with greater resilience. Don't you want that? Let me know in the comments. What are you going to start from today onwards? And if you like this video, make sure to share it with your friends and family, because you never know who is an empath and whose life can change with this little tip. So, I'll take a break here and let you indulge into all these points that I shared in this video, and we will meet in next video really soon. Live in light, enjoy life, and have fun.